Hello everyone. So in today's recording, let us get started with some real project and some real UI development. So there are a few recordings already available in this channel which talk about how to install Node, NPM, Node version manager, then how you get started with a application using your package.json and kind of incrementally build it by including lots of other dependencies. So what we're going to do today in this recording is we are going to build an application, right? So let's get started with it. Now to build an application, as I mentioned, that package.json is kind of hard because it gets the metadata and also other dependencies, and you can do the command npm install to download dependencies and then get started with your coding, right? Now to help you out with all these things, we will use something called a project boilerplate. So basically this is nothing but a skeleton project given to you which is cooked up with a lot of stuff that you really don't have to worry about, and you just stay focused with your business logic and the UI development. So I have created one. I call it ng starter, like it's an Angular based web development starter kit. So like this you will find plenty in it. Google themselves created one and they have made it open source. There are a few other folks, they have created the similar stuff. So this is the one is kind of very lightweight, and you can get started with it, I believe, quite easily. So to get this project in your hard disk, you have to first go to github.com and in my GitHub Tapas and search for ng starter project. So once you go to ng starter project, you should be able to see this project's folder structure and with the readme.md file. I have tried to create this readme.md file as elaborately possible so that you can follow the instructions over there and just get started with your development, right? Now, as I said, that ng starter is a simple AngularJS based project which will help you to get started with development quickly, and it's based on Angular 1.x support. In future we will use another starter which will get us started with Angular 2.x, right? And how to use it, we have few prerequisites to be installed in your machine so that you can start working on this easily. Of course, one of the things that you need is Git, and I believe that it's already installed. If it is not, you can get it from here. You also need Node and npm install, and if you have not installed it yet, you can get it from here, or look into one of my previous recording where I have explained this. And you need a couple of more dependencies. One is primarily Sass. Sass is nothing but a way to modularize your CSS and style sheet so that you don't repeat those code again and again. You basically declare them like a variable, more like a programming language, and that gets compiled and creates CSS for you. So the code that you write is smarter, the code that you write is smaller, and some compilation process basically take care of generating actual CSS. Another equivalent of Sass would be less, that is LESS, but I prefer to use Sass for this project. Now you need to install Sass, and Sass is having a dependency on Ruby. So first you need to install Ruby. It's very straightforward to install Ruby. You can go to rubylang.org, installation. I'm using Ubuntu, so you can go to Ubuntu and just do this command sudo apt get install ruby full. That's all you need to do, and once you install this, it will be automatically added into the class path and the Ruby will be installed instantly. Once Ruby is installed, you install Sass just by giving this command sudo su -c gem install Sass, and you will see that this Sass is also gets installed. So I have captured these steps over here, so that it will help you to get started with this prerequisite for this particular project to be in working condition. So once these prerequisites are met, so I have already done this prerequisite in this on this machine, just for the interest of the time, and so that I can get started with some of this stuff, right? So next thing that I need to do is definitely clone this repo. For that, you use the command git clone this repo URL, and that's going to clone this repo for me. And let us go inside this particular folder and let's start the game. So for that, I'll open terminal, and if you're able to see my terminal, what I'm doing here basically, so I have this node modules packages in this folder. Let me go one step up. I have this ng starter, so I have already cloned the project, so I see it over here, ng starter. And let me go inside ng starter and see what is there. So I have this whole project structure, whatever you were seeing in that git web page, everything over here. And interestingly, I also see something called package.json, which is my metadata file. And if you see, what are the things here is basically similar to the one that I have showed one of my earlier videos about package.json. It has project name, version, GitHub repo, the license, what are the dev dependencies. Of course, it's Angular based project, so all the Angular dependencies. Then there are few script tags below, right? So these dependencies are kind of very clear that these are the dependencies I require to run this project. And here are the scripts which will do lot of magical stuff for us going forward. I'm going to explain them a little bit later. Now I have to install all these dependencies over here, right? So the first command that I will be trying over here is called npm install. And as this page suggests that when you pre-configured npm, we can simply do npm install. And what it's going to do is going to download all the dependencies. It's going to run a grunt job. What exactly grunt job, maybe I can cover it in a separate video, but at a very high level, a grunt job is nothing but something equivalent to your maven or ant, right? And then you create one output.js, which is a minified version of my whole product output. I'll explain that. And it automatically run and start HTTP server, and deploy the app automatically to there. And all the dependencies will be downloaded and kept under node_modules folder. So once you do npm install, this sort of things will be done at the background, and which will eventually see how to kind of make them working. So let me go back to the command prompt. It seems it is done, so I should be able to see our node_modules, which is C. And the next thing that to start in this particular page is talk about is npm start, right? So when I do npm start, what exactly happen is, let me go back to package.json once again, and